In high school basketball, you have a multitude of different type of players. You have the cocky player, the basic and average player, and also the humble player. And in today's video, I'm just here to tell you the top 5 most humble players of all time. This is a part 2 to a new series I'm doing of humble players, and in the last video I asked if y'all wanted to see a part 2, let's get 1,000 likes, and you guys crushed it. So if you want to see a part 3, let's do it again and aim for 1,000 likes, and if I haven't mentioned a player in part 1 or 2 that you guys think should be there, drop it down below. With all that being said, let's get into the top 5 most humble players in high school basketball history. Coming in at number 5, we have a 6'8", 230 pound center. He's also the number 3 player in the country, and he goes by the name of Baldwin Jr. This guy right here is an absolute beast. You don't get ranked as the 3rd best overall player for no reason. He's ranked number 3rd, but here's the thing, a lot of people don't know about him. That's because he's very humble and quiet, and he doesn't speak out or act out a lot. He goes out there, takes care of business, and he doesn't create a lot of off the court distractions. Normally what separates our cocky and humble players isn't really how they act on the court, it's what they do off the court as well. That quote unquote cocky attitude isn't just on the basketball court, they have an ego off the court. However, like I stated, Paulo minds his own business and doesn't get in any drama. And that's the main reason as to why a lot of people may not even know about this guy. Eventually, you'll start hearing his name a lot more in this up and coming season, and he's also signed with Duke. I would have him higher on the list, but I have him at number 5 for this right here. Yes, he's a very humble and cool dude, but every now and then on the court, when he makes a crazy good play, he'll have that ego slightly come out. And for those reasons right there, this is why he comes in at number 5 on our list. Coming in at number 4 on our list, we have a player who's ranked 1 spot ahead of him as the number 2 overall player in the country. He's 6'9", 200 pounds, and he goes by the name of Baldwin Jr. I got Patrick and Paulo back to back on my list because they're very similar. Just like our previous player, this guy's ranked in the top 3 of his class, but a lot of people still aren't talking about him. It's for very similar reasons. He takes care of business on the court and doesn't cause any off the court distractions. You would think a kid who's a 5-star recruit and the number 2 overall player in the country would have a slight ego, but he just doesn't. Not only that, he was also named Gatorade Player of the Year for his state, and a lot of ESPN analysts thinks he's the best shooter in the country. A lot of you guys watching this video right now make 1-3 in PE and start running up and down the court like Flight Reacts. I couldn't even begin to imagine how cocky some of you would be if you were as gifted and talented as this guy right here. To put it in perspective, let me give you a quick example. It's so rare to see a guy completely body and dunk on a defender and have no reaction at all. But he's that guy, he's all about his business, and not only that, he'll hit a step back 3 and act like it was a free throw. If you're a young player out there, I wouldn't only want to model my game after Baldwin Jr.'s, but I also would look up to him as a great role model. You just can't hate him. He has a great personality and he has a great game. And with all that being said, this is why he comes in at number 4 on our list. Coming in at number 3 on our list, does he really need an introduction? I don't think so. We got Sharif Cooper. Man, oh man, where do we even start? First thing is first, we all know if you've been watching YouTube for a while now, it's always those point guards that are cocky. I don't know what it is, but it's those point guards under 6'1 or 6'2 that just have the biggest ego. I guess it's because they feel like they're underrated and undersized, so they gotta show out and, express themselves somehow. But however, Cooper just really started his own wave and trend of not doing all that stuff. When he was in high school, he was listed at 6 foot and dropping 32 points a night. The thing about Sharif though is that he would do a crazy and flashy play and wouldn't even react to it. I think his own fans were more cocky and bragging on him more than he actually bragged on himself. And that's what it's all about. You don't want to brag on yourself, let your fans do that for you. I would have him higher, but when he was playing at away games and they were all booing him, if he scored a basket, he would look at the student section and say a smart remark. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not, but I can't have him at number 1 or 2, if he's doing all that stuff. No need to talk about him too much. We all know who he is and we know his true character, so for those reasons, this is why he comes in at number 3 on our list. Coming in at number 2 on our list, this was the most highly requested player on the previous video. He played at Sierra Canyon, he was a beast, and he goes by the name of BJ Boston. Just like I said, if there's a humble player that you think should be in part 3, drop it down below, because this is why BJ even made the list, because of you guys. Anyways, continuing on, Boston was not only one of the best players in the country, but he was also playing for one of the best teams. When you're a great player on a great team, you start to develop that swagger and cool mentality because you know you're one of the top dogs. But he really never did that, and he stayed true to himself and never changed. I got him at number 2 for multiple reasons. Most players out west, they have that California mentality, they love all the cameras, action, and all the clout. Brandon didn't even buy into all that stuff because he's a very quiet guy. He doesn't post post a lot on Twitter or Instagram. I also really think if he didn't play basketball, he probably wouldn't even post on Instagram. He has 400,000 followers though, so he's got to keep them entertained every now and then. And just like our previous guys, you really can't hate him because he doesn't do anything to make you hate him. And for all those reasons right there, this is why he comes in at number 2 on our list. We've made it to everybody's favorite part of the video, the number 1 most humble player. And like I said, if y'all want to see some players I missed out on, drop them down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and leave a like. We're on the road to 100K. Now let's get into it. Coming in at number 1, this may be a little controversial. I don't think it is at all. We have arguably one of the best generational talents we've ever seen, and he goes by the name of no other than Jaylen Green. Jaylen Green, man, when you're talking about the alpha male, this is the definition of one. He's one of the most gifted and talented players you will ever see in your life, and he has that dog mentality. He can absolutely fly out of the gym, hit 3-pointers, handle the basketball, do flashy plays, and just straight up give you a bucket. I know some of you may not agree with this, but just hear me out and listen to what I got to say because I may change your mind. I have never seen a player in my life be as good as this guy is right here and not even talk about it. But not only that, this is why I have him at number 1. You guys can go check out all of his mixtapes and look at it for yourself, but pay attention to what he does after he scores a bucket. I've seen Jaylen completely murder defenders on dunks. I'm talking about some crazy posters, and then just jog back or walk back on defense like it was a normal play. Like I said, some of you guys make a contested layup and act like you won the NBA championship. Anytime a dude dunks on a defender, he always does some kind of reaction. He stares him down, flexes, or just something. But Green doesn't. He just acts like it's a normal and casual play for him. And if we're being honest, it is a normal play for him because he does that almost every single game. For a player to be as great as he is, it's just unreal to see him not act out and, show off on the court. Yes, he shows emotions occasionally, but it's not even on the cocky side. And we don't just stop there. On the other hand, on social media, he doesn't, show off either. I wouldn't say he's not active on social media because he posts every now and then on Instagram, but he doesn't really post about basketball. You can go to his Instagram right now. 15 of his last 16 pictures, I think, are just pictures of him without a basketball or even talking about the game. Most basketball players and top basketball players want you to know they're a basketball player because that's all they talk and post about. It's just different for Jaylen. He sees himself as a normal person and he's like the rest of us. It's just awesome to see basketball players and top players in general, not show out and be cocky at all, because at the end of the day, if you're humble, you're always going to win. And with all that being said, this is why Jaylen Green comes in at number 1 on our list. Every single player on this list has one major thing in common. They're outstanding and remarkable basketball players, but they're also humble. And I love this series I'm making because we're giving credit where credit is due to a lot of players that don't really get a lot of credit. I understand Sharif Cooper and Jaylen Green was getting a lot of hype, but the other 3 guys on this list weren't necessarily. I'm wishing all 5 of these players the best of luck in their basketball career, and I hope they continue to see a lot of success. But hey man, with all this being said, that's about gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like for more. Like I said, if y'all want to see some players I didn't list or name, drop them down below. I'm gonna read the comments, and as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.